我らが将軍様の神聖なる伝統異国の技術に魅入られた帝の軍にかなわない。
Shadow of the Road is an upcoming story-driven, tactical, turn-based, single-player RPG developed by the Poland-based studio Another Angle Games. This isometric RPG is set to launch on PC exclusively, with no confirmed release date yet. Before we dive in, I'd like to thank Owlcat Games, the publishers of the game, for providing me with a key to the early alpha build. Keep in mind that this version is a work in progress, so everything is subject to change. Starting March 25th, you can request access to the open alpha on Steam, giving you a chance to experience the game firsthand and provide valuable feedback to the developers. If you find this video helpful at any point, please leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. That way, you'll stay updated on the release date and all the latest news on this and other related content. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Shadow of the Road is set in a fascinating blend of traditional samurai aesthetics, dark fantasy, and steampunk elements, creating a unique alternate version of 1868 Japan. This rendition of Japan is torn apart by a brutal civil war between the traditionalist forces of Shogun Tokugawa and the technologically advanced army of Emperor Mutsuhito, which is backed by the heavily armed British East Nippon Company, which adds a whole other layer to this, a layer of sort of industrial, expansion into Japan. The inclusion of supernatural entities such as ghosts, demons, and shapeshifters gives a fantastical element to the whole environment. Known as yokai in Japanese folklore, these apparitions are typically portrayed as playful or relatable, as seen in this alpha version. However, they can also be menacing and frightening, and you will encounter these eerie creatures and monsters throughout the game. It's really cool. I'm excited to find out more about that. In this game, you'll control the Ronin Satoru and Akira, who are tasked by the Shogun himself to protect a mysterious boy with immense, uncontrollable powers. Along the way, you'll meet a few new heroes who join your team, each bringing their own unique backstories and motivations. With a story-focused narrative as one of the game's core pillars, you'll engage in plenty of dialogue with companions and NPCs throughout your journey. Each companion features an alignment system. Your choices, actions, and even inaction influence their development. On a surface level, it sounds a lot like the light and dark side mechanics from Knights of the Old Republic, which I always loved. However, the alpha version was too brief to fully showcase the repercussions of your decisions, and I'm excited to see how this aspect evolves in the final build. Outside of cutscenes, there's no voice acting. It's all classic on-screen text. Given that Shadow of the Road is being developed by an indie studio working on their first major title, this approach makes sense. Fortunately, the dialogue isn't overwhelming, it's well written and easy to follow. Oh, and one more thing. In this preview version, there was no option to create a custom character. Based on that and the way the story is pitched, I'm inclined to believe that character customization might not be available in the final game, but don't quote me on that just yet. Okay, so the alpha basically throws you right into this story where the two main characters are set on fulfilling the Shogun's orders. After a brief tutorial, I was free to explore a small section of the map in search of the mysterious boy. I discovered various items scattered throughout, including 2 types of healing potions. And one quality of life feature I really liked is that the inventory is shared between characters rather than being character-specific. As a turn-based tactical RPG, the primary focus is on combat encounters and mechanics, and the execution in this preview certainly does not disappoint. The combat system incorporates typical genre staples, such as action points for skill usage and movement points for strategic positioning. Additionally, elements like cover and half-cover play a crucial role. These can be destroyed either directly or via indirect environmental effects, adding a dynamic layer to tactical planning. The game spices things up with its own unique rules. For instance, some powerful skills feature unconventional cooldown mechanics. Take the Twin Blades skill, which only resets its cooldown after your team eliminates 2 enemies. So you're encouraged to be aggressive and strategic about how you take down your opponents. The game also introduces delayed attacks, which are more effective, but carry a risk of failure. When a character initiates a delayed attack, they are unable to move and their turn ends automatically. If they are attacked before executing the skill, it will be interrupted and the attacker will gain action points. Another important element is the emphasis on turn order manipulation. Certain abilities can alter the turn sequence, shifting a character's turn earlier or later depending on who uses the ability. For example, Satoru's Leader's Call reduces the turn order for both himself and his allies, granting them more frequent actions. The goal is to shift the timeline to the left so that your allies can act quickly and defeat foes before they can react. Likewise, the enemies can manipulate turn order as well, making this strategic element a key factor in turning the tide of battle. It's all about gaining that tempo advantage.
Yeah. I rolled first, and then Peter twice because he got doubles, and now it's my turn again.
This preview also provided a glimpse of character progression, which consists of skill and perks trees. However, the perks tree was disabled in this version, so there isn't much to report in that regard. Each character has their own skill tree, allowing you to unlock new abilities or upgrade existing ones, thereby opening up various build possibilities and combat strategies. Additionally, the aforementioned alignment system will influence builds in some way, but there isn't enough information on that front yet, so stay tuned for more information in the future. The environment will also influence tactical decisions to some extent. For example, if one of the characters passes through a body of water, they will receive the wet condition, which extinguishes fire and makes them immune to it for several turns. It's another layer of strategy to consider. While exploring and in between combat encounters, you'll come across healing shrines. These interactable objects allow you to partially restore your team's health. The system functions similarly to a short rest mechanic in D&D, but with one key difference. The shrines are single-use only, adding an interesting strategic layer to your global decision-making, because once they're gone, they're gone. In the alpha, there are no difficulty options and combat encounters are relatively straightforward, so you should be able to complete it in 1 to 2 hours, depending on whether you skip the dialogues and head straight to combat. Finally, well, at least in the preview version, free saving wasn't available. Instead, the game uses checkpoints and an option to restart the entire level. This means there is only one save file, which puts a lot of weight on the choices and decisions you make throughout your journey. This preview build didn't showcase some of the exciting features planned for the full game, so here's a quick heads up on what's coming. For instance, stealth mechanic that lets you surprise enemies and control the flow of combat on your own terms. Next, during battles, you'll be able to synergize with your companions by combining different skills across characters to create cool and deadly combos. Thanks to the game's fantasy elements, expect a wide variety of spells to spice things up. It's not all about swords and guns. Speaking of swords, we should be able to enchant them to add additional features, and a crafting system should be introduced later on as well. Lastly, the full game will feature diverse biomes and environments, offering a refreshing visual feast that keeps the gameplay engaging and prevents monotony. I've been following the development of Shadow of the Road since 2020, and the game has evolved remarkably over the years. It's shaping up to be a truly unique RPG, combining a samurai setting with supernatural elements from Japanese folklore and intriguing steampunk touches. Graphically, the game already looks fantastic and performs smoothly, which is encouraging at this point in development. The whole scenery along with traditional Japanese music in the background really sells the ambiance for me, and I'm excited to see how the final version unfolds. Once again, starting March 25th, there's an open alpha available on Steam. Go check it out, play it yourself, give the developers your feedback. So what are your thoughts on the game based on the available information so far? How do you feel about the setting, gameplay, and systems? Leave a comment down below. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like and consider subscribing, or go over and above and turn on all notifications to ensure you don't miss our next video. Until then, have a great day and lots of fun.